Good morning, everyone. My name is Dominique Holmes. I'm the Public Information Officer for Hernando County Government. Thank you all so much for joining us on this amazing, beautiful Saturday morning to honor the late Lorenzo Hamilton Sr. by renaming Kennedy Park Coach Lorenzo Hamilton Sr. Park. Let's get a round of applause for that. I would like to start off this ceremony with the Pledge of Allegiance. If I can have everyone please rise, and we'll start with the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, we have a very special surprise for this ceremony. We have a beautiful rendition of America the Beautiful by saxophonist Gil Singleton. Can we please have him go ahead and, there he is. Come on down, we appreciate it.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so honored to be here. What a special day in this community, and you can tell his legacy by looking at all the faces and the people that have shown up here. I want to speak a little bit about a coach's influence on the youth of our community. I just think it's absolutely amazing when you have someone with the heart that reaches out to these kids on a daily basis, trying to make their lives better, teaching them what it's like to be part of a team, part of a community. And I love when I'm here to honor somebody in that manner, somebody that touched so many lives through the years. Not only was he an educator, but he was a parent, a watchdog, a person, a counselor. He was everything to so many people, and it is absolutely my honor to be here today to dedicate this park in his name to this community. So thank you so much for including me in your event. I am so happy to be here and absolutely honored to be part of this service. Thank you.
Well, it's a beautiful day in Hernando County, South Brooksville. First off, I just want to take a moment. I didn't know Mr. Hamilton personally, but I can tell from everybody in the community that's reached out, talked to us, talked about the history. He was a beautiful soul, and I'm sure he's sorely missed by you as a family members. I've actually had the privilege of coaching at this park for the last 6 years. Every Tuesday and Thursday, our travel baseball team rents the fields and come out here and able to use it, and it's a beautiful place. I am honored to be a part of this. I was honored to vote for this, and there was a gentleman that produced a video. I can't remember his name. Ken Moore produced a video that he shared during, right before we took the vote. And it showed the man he was. It showed the legacy he left. It was a very emotional and impactful video. And again, I'm just honored to be here, honored to be a part of it. And God bless you, and God bless Brooksville.
Good morning, everybody. We didn't open with a prayer, but can we at least give a shout of praise to the Lord for dialing up such a beautiful day today? Thank you. tomorrow doesn't look so good, so I think he had a hand in this. I did not have the pleasure of knowing Coach Lorenzo Hamilton Sr., but I can tell you that I had coaches when I was a youth, when I was growing up, that impacted my life tremendously. Whether it was about being a good team member, standing up for what you're supposed to do, for the job you're supposed to do, and making sure you do it, okay, and not having excuses. And I hear from many people in this community that Coach Hamilton did just that. He taught the boys what it meant to be men, and I think the same thing for the ladies, so that they could be productive citizens in this community. I am very happy that this was able to happen. This is what happens when the community comes together and works with government, and we make good things happen, so thank you. And I want to thank the family members. Again, I spoke to a few of you. When I first moved to this community in the late 90s, I was involved with some of the sports medicine at Hernando High School and at Springstead. Late Doc Hensley and I worked together with the sports program here. I didn't get a chance to work with Coach Hamilton Sr. I wish I did. The video was amazing, as Commissioner Hawkins already said, and it showed a lot what he did for this community. I don't want to take any more from this celebration, but I want to thank you all for coming together to honor this gentleman, okay, so that people like me can know what he did for this community and how he helped raise up leaders in this community. So thank you for what you've done. Thank you to his family for sharing his day with us. God bless you.
Well, good morning, Brooksville. It's an honor and a privilege to be here to honor a great man and honor the life and legacy of Coach Lorenzo Hamilton Sr. I, likewise, did not have the privilege of knowing Coach, but I have read and been told of the great man that he was and the impact that he made on this community. Coach dedicated his life to giving back to this community. 40 plus years as an educator, a coach, a friend, a family member, and he gave so much to the youth of this community that has cemented his legacy for years and years and years to come. This probably was the easiest vote I had the privilege of voting on this last year. This was a no-brainer. So thank you for allowing us to do this. Thank you for bringing us this project forward. And it was an honor and a privilege to get it to where it is today. And thank you for all that have been involved in that. God bless you all.
Good morning. Councilman David Bailey is also here as well this morning, so appreciate him being here. And I won't read the whole proclamation because in August, many of you were here when we celebrated Coach, and I read the proclamation at that time, and that was an exciting meeting because I think that was the nexus of the naming of this park. And one of the things that we talked about, and piggybacking off Commissioner Alaco, was the good that he did in this community. And I was fortunate to know Coach was led by his relationship with God. And his relationship with God made him a role model for young kids, made him a great coach, made him a great educator. And that is what we need for our future generation, those types of role models in their lives. And that is very much appreciated by the county and by the city. And that is why it's so fitting today for this park to be named after him. But one of the things I wanted to read from the proclamation, whereas his vision continued with the addition of establishing a travel girls softball team, organizing community dances, holding community night on Wednesday evenings, founding the Human Relations Club at Hernando High School, coordinating the first Black History Assembly at Hernando High School in Hernando County in 1971, during the school desegregation and other activities and programs for both youth and adults. The reason Coach was so loved was he did so much for others, and that those quiet acts of kindness that he did influenced and made an impact on lives that he probably didn't even know he was impacting when he was doing it. So to God be the glory, and we are so thankful for the blessings that we have from the God that the coach believed in and that I believe in, and what a great day today here in this park. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. I bring greetings from the Hamilton family and to the county commissioners, community friends and family and other Hamilton family members. We, the Hamilton family, appreciate and thank all of for you all setting aside this day and time to dedicate this park to a great man. I know a young man who is very fine. He did good deeds all the time. Much is known about his fame. Coach Lorenzo Hamilton Sr. is his name. The Hamilton family is very grateful for the achievement and accomplishment Coach Lorenzo made. Psalms 37, 23, and 24 states, "The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. Though he fall, he should not be utterly cast down, but the Lord upholdeth him with his hand." Again, we appreciate the dedication of this beautiful park in his honor. Lorenzo Hamilton's father and my father were brothers. Thank you.
I made my remarks. Clarence gave me 2 minutes, so I have to write them down. Otherwise, I'll go over. Good morning. The sacred text of the Odu Ifa teaches that we are created to bring good into the world. Dr. Martin Luther King said, "We can all be great because we can all serve." Lorenzo Hamilton served. Thus, we are assembled this morning to pay respect to the legacy of a man who did just that, brought good, fond memories into the community, and continued to do so throughout the lives of his students. Hamilton discovered his purpose for living, and that was serving the young and being kind and respectful to the elderly. He loved the park and would be proud of the naming, honor, dedication this morning. He would be even more appreciative to see more of his graduates offer services to the youth in this community after the 5 decades that he served. I spent my teen years with Lorenzo Hamilton as a student, as a player, as a coach. I walked with Lorenzo Hamilton from Moton Field across the track to set up the baseball program here at Kennedy Park. I served with Lorenzo Hamilton as a founder of the Kennedy Youth Club. I worked with him throughout college. When I left and came back in 1985 as an adult, I reconnected. I worked with Lorenzo Hamilton in the Hernando County Professional Organization. I assisted with KYC, Mayday, the talent show, and the naming of John D. Floyd Elementary School, and was the last president of Kennedy Park Little League as we knew it. I was a part of the team that petitioned the naming of the community center to be named after him, assisted or coordinated 3 tribute appreciation. On this special day and Black History Month, which he practiced with reverence, one which with warm heart, I conclude with this observation. I leave you with this scripture, Psalms 1. Blessed is the one who does not walk in the steps with the wicked, or stand in the way that sinners take, or sit in the company of mockers. Verse 2, but whose delight is the law of the Lord, and who meditates on the law day and night. Verse 3, and finally, the person is like a tree planted by a stream of water, which yields fruit in season, and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever they do, they prosper. You are the leaf, you are the fruit. And that's why his legacy prospered. Thank you all very much.
I think he almost said everything that I was going to say, so but that's good. But if I'm not mistaken, I think Coach Hamilton came here in 1966, and at that point in my life, I went off on basically a 2-year run where I got into migrant farm work. I traveled all through Florida, New York, Delaware, Maryland, and New York City, and so on and so on. And I was always in the where I was doing crap. I mean, anything that needed to be loaded or picked, we were there. And Chuck Hart was the one that carried us around and everything. And like I said, I didn't know Hamp, but in 1967, Hamp got a busload of kids and drove them down to Bethune to see a Wildcat football game. And that's when I really got to know Hamp. And basically, I didn't have a big brother who I could confide in, and Hamp literally became that big brother. Anytime I want to come home, I come home and I find Hamp and we'll talk. And, you know, he would always tell me, I mean, make certain that you keep your grades up, make certain that you go to class, and above all, don't get into any trouble at Bethune. And I took Hamp advice, and as life went on, I remember when I was in the league, the NFL league, because when you get a certain age in the NFL, if you're not a star, if you're not Jerome Brown, they don't want you no more. And so what happened, and I was with the Buccaneers, with the Dolphins, and they brought in Don Reese and Randy Crowder. They were young, strong, and fast. So they dropped me, and I went to the Bengals. I went up there and I played a year, and once again they brought in a big guy, Bob Brown, and once again they dropped me. And I called Hamp because I was without a job, and Hamp gave me a job. I was the caretaker over this park, where I was in charge for about a year. And during that time, I needed another year in order to retire. So, but I was working on the Hamp, and the Buccaneers, they called me. And so I didn't know what to do. I talked with Hamp. Hamp told me to pack his stuff and go on down there. And I went on down, and everything worked out well. But I would say Hamp was one of the greatest guys that I've ever known. I mean, he was literally my big brother. And everything, he would always tell me. And people who know me, they know I'm not a speaker. But I remember Hamp had me to speak one time. He said, you have been involved in a lot of things, so you need to speak. So however bad I sound, ever since then, I get up and say a few words. And but just to cut it short, I really want to thank this crowd and the people and Hamp family. I remember meeting Hamp's sister one time. Yeah, okay. And but I remember Hamp and his wife, we got together. We had about, she had a hall rented, and it was about 150 people in that hall. And she wanted me and some guys to help her honor Hamp. And myself, along with Lester Brown, we all got together and said we're going to dub him the Godfather. And we all got together and were talking. I think she may still have that film. But what she wanted us to really honor him, and when we got there, she had Hamp to put on a hat, some dark shades, and I think I started it. So I walked up to the stage humbly and said, I want to thank the Godfather for just talking to me and keeping me strong and keeping me going on. Then I kneeled down and gave the Godfather a $100 bill. And so Tubby Lester Brown came on. He did the same thing. I want to thank the Godfather and so on and so. And he kneeled down, gave the Godfather $100. And Ricky Fisher came in. He followed suit, and because I think Ricky was always a star. Because I think Ricky used to run the 100 in about 4.2, 4.3. The 40-yard dash in about 4.2 or 4.3. And a lot of people don't know when you run that fast, you in the class with Bob Hayes. That's fast. But anyway, then Ricky thanked the Godfather, kneeled down, gave him a $100 bill. And Andrew Williams, and so on and so on. So before it ended, Hamp had $1,000. So I call him now, Hamp, my friend, the Godfather. Thank you.
I first want to thank God for his grace and mercy. And I also want to thank all the commissioners and the mayor and all of you who are here this morning for this special occasion. There's not enough that I could stand here and say and talk about Mr. Hamilton, you know, who I consider as my godfather. People who knew me and knew him. We always were together. And today is a special day to me, and for a lot of reasons, because we are speaking and talking about a guy that meant so much to this community. He stood tall, and he meant a lot to a lot of people. And certainly to me, he was an inspiration to me. He always challenged me. He always told me that I could be successful in this life, but I had to want it in my mind. And let it be told, it turned out that a little old boy from Brooksville turned out to be pretty good in life. And I thank him for that. But before I say a few words, and I'm gonna sit down because I'm not a big time talker, but if you could everybody just stand and give God a hand clap of praise for this man's legacy and his good deed in this community, because he stood tall and he was a man amongst men. And I must say that I miss him, but I know for sure if he was here today, he would probably say, wow. He wouldn't imagine this happening in 100 years. But he will stand here and say thank you. But his fruits bear in all of us. And we are an example of what this man was all about. And I just want to say I'm thankful. And I'd say thank you to all of you for being here and participating in this occasion. And God bless you, and God be with you, and God keep you safe. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. To our Hernando County Commissioners, the Pastors United Incorporated, the members of the committee that worked hard to do this, thank you. This is truly an honor. It's truly an honor. And like Ricky, it's very personal to me. All I can say, look at God. Look at God. Another Black History moment. I, under his leadership, was a softball player, the Jets. Do I have any of my sisters out there? Would you please stand with me? Now, you know, and I'm finna brag, we was awesome. We was bad. We was real bad. And that was because of Lorenzo Hamilton. When we put on that suit, we belonged to him. You couldn't talk to nobody. I mean, you couldn't even talk to your own family. You belonged to him. And if you stepped out of line, he will embarrass you. He didn't care. He would jack us up. He did. And for one thing I loved about him, I used to be mad about it, but I love it now, that he saw something in us that we didn't see in ourselves. He will push us beyond our limits. I was doing things that I didn't even know I could do, and I did it. And he told me I was going to do it, and I did it. He was a great man. He was a great man in our time. Yes, a lot of people did not get that opportunity to know him, but if you had, you definitely would have got the discipline. And you would have walked that walk and talked that talk. School was non-negotiable. You had to go to school, you had to get your grades. We, at this time, we didn't have the scholarships and all these other things going on when we were in school. So when we finished, we didn't have that. So we had to do a different alternative. We went to work. And I was fortunate enough to get employed with Florida Power, that changed to Progress Energy, that is now Duke Energy. I worked for them for 35 years. People will look and say, oh, you got a good job, but you never knew what I endured to stay there. So never look at nobody and wonder how they did it, what they got. Hey, it's work, honey. It's work. It's work. I went there for one job and I ended up doing something totally different. And that just goes to show you that God always got a different plan. There's always a ram in the bush. When you go one way and it don't work, you trust God, he gonna send you another way. And honey, I became a heavy equipment operator. Me. That is not what I went to work for. But I did it. And I was successful at it. I became a chief. And I am now retired after 35 years. And what Hamp taught me, and that's another name we had, Hamp, Coach, he had a whole lot of names. He taught me that in my heart and in my mind, if I want to do anything, there was nobody out here that can stop me from being the person that I want to be but myself. So I endured. I pressed forward, and we made it. And for all the ladies, this is just the ladies going a different way. The guys had another way, but all the ladies got a different story, and they all persevered. So for this day, thank you, each and every one of you, for coming out, for celebrating this Black History moment. God bless you.
Somebody said it couldn't be done. But he with a chuckle replied that maybe it couldn't, but I should be one who wouldn't say so until I have a try. So he buckled right in with a bit of a grin on his face. If he word, he hit it. He started to sing as he tackled the thing that couldn't be done, and he did it. Somebody at school for you'll never do that. At least no one has ever done it. So he took off his coat and he took off his hat. And before we knew, we'd begun it. There are thousands to tell you it cannot be done. There are thousands to even prophesy failure. But just take off your coat and take off your hat and go to it. And you can do it. To the county commissioners, to give an honor to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who's head of my life, to this Hamilton family, thank you for loaning your loved one to us, Lorenzo Hamilton Sr. To the Board of County Commissioners, other elected officials in their respected places, clergy leaders, community leaders, it is indeed an honor and a privilege to see this awesome day. I want to introduce you to the Pastors United as One, Pastor Parnell, Ebenezer Missionary Baptist Church, Pastor Fagan, Leonard Street Church of God, Pastor Ells, Pristine Baptist Church, and myself, Assistant Pastor of Bethlehem Baptist Church. This has certainly been a journey. I want to thank my wife, Connie, the president of TRAC, for forging the way and being the face of our community at the Board of County Commissioners meeting long before some of us decided to go up there and ask for this park to be renamed. She's doing a wonderful job for our community. We are two married couple that we didn't come here, we're from here. So it means something to us, and it means something to us on this day. I want to thank my sister, LaJuan Gamble, for the initial write-up, to begin this process of renaming the park. I want to thank Lester Brown and Kenneth Moore and Dr. Howard Blunt and Stephanie for encouraging us to continue when we had the breakfast in August to continue the process and get this park renamed. We want to thank Dominique Holmes for these awesome keepsake programs and the initial construct of the sign that you will see today. Thank you, Dominique. I want to thank Chris Lindbergh for his assembling us together and working so smoothly as an awesome team player. I want to thank Rob Talbot for his can-do spirit in making sure the signs are just perfect and that they are covered the way they are today and that we're going to unveil them only when we get ready to do so. Thank you, Rob. I want to thank Kojak Burnett in keeping us all on track and focuses on the beauty of this park. Pastor Parnell was in those renaming committee meetings with us as well. I think we were a great team. We probably were the best team that the county commissioners ever assembled on this side of the Mississippi. Coach Lorenzo Hamilton Sr. I can remember being part of something special. As a little 10-year-old boy and coming out here to the park and the Little League program, and someone would yell out, "Coach is coming, Coach is coming." That meant we had to sprint to those bleachers. No matter what you were doing, you stopped and you sprint. And when you got to the bleachers, nobody said a word. As Coach was walking up, the birds would sing. But you wouldn't talk to your neighbor. If you did, that meant that you owe him some dollars. And the dollars that Coach Hamilton gave us was dollars that have brought us to this very moment right now. And I thank him so much for that. Here, Coach Hamilton required something from you once you graduated from the Little League program. You had to give back to the Little League program. For example, Amani was my coach. And Amani can tell you the story. As I was rounding second base, my shoes was off. And I had the shoes that I wore them so long, they were no longer Keds. You could not make out if they were Keds or not because I ran completely out of them. But I kept running because I wanted to get to home base. I thank Coach Hamilton for that. He made sure that we were umpire. We would give something back to the Little League program. Then he started the Jets. We had to take the Jets home after practice, and the boys he would let us off at the top of the street, but the girls he'd make sure that they would get in the house. He didn't care if we got home or not, but we made sure that those Jets got in the house safely. I remember the Kennedy Youth Club being out here and how we were required to learn those Robert rules and how that has helped me through life. That you can even go from the county commissioners all the way up to be a congressman, and you still have to know Robert rules. Is that right? Now, in closing, we're asking, now, before we do the unveiling, I got some people to thank. The mural that you're about to see this morning, I want the artist to come up and take a bow. It's Lakima Matthew. Come on up, Lakima. The mural you're about to see today. And I asked her for her vision about why did she come up with that. And somebody said it was a Rotary Club thing. That was a baseball diamond. But we thank you so much. Yes, go ahead, please do.
Yeah, what's good, everybody? How y'all doing? I didn't get the chance to meet Mr. Hamilton personally, but by the stories that were shared with me, the key word kept coming in my head was greatness. And one of the things that I incorporated in the mural was African Adingra symbol that symbolizes greatness. The target, it represents greatness, charisma, and leadership. And so, when we do reveal the mural, you will see this target that blends into this baseball symbol, but just know that, like, you guys have confirmed tonight or today that he is the symbol of greatness. And I just want to say I'm grateful for the opportunity. Thank you, Reverend, for allowing me to even be able to do this. And yeah, and I just wanted to say one more thing. I used to play T-ball back when I was a youth. And I was just like, yo, what a coincidence. This is awesome. I'm glad that I can be able to be a part of this history. Thank you.
Okay, so now in closing, we're asking the Board of County Commissioners to support during next year's Martin Luther King Day Parade, that we start and end that parade at Hamilton Park. This is the only county event commemorating the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. How fitting it would be for our represented leaders to take an active role in making sure that this parade is the best in the state of Florida. We will contact you soon about the new parade route, but we really would like for that to happen. If I can help somebody as I pass along, if I can cheer somebody with a word or a song, if I can show somebody he's traveling wrong, then my living will not be in vain. I'm going to ask my classmate to come up, and he's going to sing about what the saxophonist played about.
Oh, beautiful, for heroes prove in liberating strife, who more than self their country love, and mercy more than life, America, America, make God my soul divine, till all success be noblest, and every gain divine. And you know we singing like this in school. Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties, above the fruity plains. But now wait a minute, I'm talking about America, sweet America. God done shed his grace on thee. He found our hood and brotherhood from sea to shine, shining sea. Let us go. America, sweet America, my God shed his blood for thee. He crowned our good. Yes, he did. Brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Wow, that was incredible. You could feel the energy in the audience, too. Amazing. Thank you again. Let's talk about teamwork. Each and every single one of you guys coming together. Pastor Green briefly mentioned on the team that came together, but without every single one of you being here today and coming forward, and every single commissioner, every person involved, we made this happen. So if you did not have an opportunity, we have programs here. They're laminated. They're a nice keepsake to take with you. We have them on the table, so be sure to get one. They also have a picture of the late Lorenzo Hamilton Sr. At this time, it's time to unveil the 3 new signs. So, and we also have a mural. So if we can have everyone that was a volunteer, a signed volunteer, to go to the station of the sign they're going to unveil, if we take a moment and do that at this time. I'm going to count down from 3, and then we're going to unveil the sign. You ready? 3, 2, 1.